Hi everyone, welcome back here. So in today's session, we'll be discussing about association, aggregation, and composition. Association, aggregation, and composition. So what is this association, aggregation, and composition? Okay. Suppose if you want to find out a relationship between your classes, okay, or if you want to provide a relationship between the classes, between two classes, at that time, this association, aggregation, composition concept comes. Okay. Suppose using this association aggregation, we can establish a relationship between two classes. So, okay, the relationship can be like one to one, okay, one to one relationship, okay, and one to many, one to many relationship, and many to one relationship, and many to many relationship. Any relationship. Okay. So actually, whatever the classes we created, okay, these are separate classes that we created. Okay, these are the separate class we created, and we can able to access those classes by with the help of object creation or some inheritance concept. Okay. Now here the association is nothing but in order to establish a relationship between two classes. Okay, we go for that. Okay, actually, association is a connection or a relationship between two different separate classes. Okay, and it shows how objects of two classes are associated with each other. Okay, how object of the two classes are associated with each other. Okay, and for example, if you take up a relationship between your books and the library, okay, so what library has a books, library has a books, okay, and your teacher and student, okay, each and every student has a teacher, okay, and driver drives the car. Okay, what is it here? You're able to find out the relationship, right? Drives, okay, and has a, okay, and is a relationship, okay. So here your association is of has a relationship, has a relationship, okay. Your association is of has a relationship, okay. For example, you can see here, so you have one to one, one to many, many to one, and many to many relationship. Okay, the best example for one to one relationship is a person or a one individual can have only one passport, one to one. Okay, each person has one unique identification, that is one to one. Okay, one to many. Okay, example, you are between doctor and the patient. Okay, one doctor can look into the many patients, that is one to many. So only one doctor but many patients, many to one. Okay, for example, your library, okay, and your restaurant, only one restaurant and many people are coming to that, many to many. Okay, so that is your relationship between a teacher and student. Okay, many students are associated with one teacher and one teacher is associated with the many students, right? That is nothing but your many to many relationship. Okay, if you can see here, okay, you'll be able to get easily like one to one, one to many to one, and many to many. Okay, now in association we have two types. Composition and aggregation. Composition and aggregation. Okay. So this is the UML notation for the your association and aggregation and composition. Okay. Like for example, let's try to do the things. Okay. Let me create a new package and saying, oh, sorry, I'm creating a class. New class here. I'm saying that class as person. Okay. Class as a person. Okay. Click on finish. Now this person, okay, has a name. Okay, if I take up a person, he has a name, right? And he has an ID as well, unique ID. Okay. So what I do, I'll just create a constructor here for that. Person for that. And this constructor is of parameterized. Okay. String name. Okay. And long ID. Okay. So ID can be long, right? So here I will also change this data type. Okay. Now using this keyword, okay, I will point those instances to the current instances, like my local variables to the instance variables. Okay. So this dot, okay, name equal to name, and this dot ID equal to ID. Okay. Now here I just made a grammar mistake. Okay. Now you can see. Now my part is done. Now what I do, I'll create a one more class and name that class as a passport. Okay, passport. Okay, here also I don't need a. Click on finish. So for the passport, what they will store? They will store string. Okay, person name. Okay, string person name. Okay, and for the passport also I can have one constructor. Okay, fine. So within this constructor, I'll just say string name and ID. Okay. Now here there is one concept like inheritance concept. Suppose if I want to fetch features from one class to other class. Okay. So what I can do, I can go for extends keyword. Okay. This is a concept of inheritance. Okay. So I want to get the properties from this person class to passport class. Okay, at that time I can go for inheritance and I can get them from one class to other class. So I'm extending from one passport class to person. Okay. Now here it is throwing an error. Okay, let me add the values here. String name comma long ID. Okay. Now this dot ID equal to, you can see I didn't define ID but it's showing up. Okay. And this dot name, okay, equal to name, okay. Now I want to point this constructor to the person constructor created here. What I do at that time, I'll just say this dot, okay, sorry, I'll call the super constructor where it will call the, okay, my it will call my super constructor class, like super class constructor. So what is the super class for my passport? It is person. So it will call the super constructor from the person class, means it will call this person constructor into this class. Okay, so just say there like name comma id. Okay, now it is fine. Now you can create a one more package here. Sorry, what it go? Okay, one more class and say the class as a government, okay, agency. Select the mind method, click on finish. Now your government agency is providing many to one here. Okay, many persons are there. You can see passport between the relationship between passport and the person is one to one. Okay, but passport and government agencies, okay, will be having multiple, right, many to one. Okay, now in government agency what you can do, you can create an object of the passport. Okay, creating an object of the passport here. Come back, how to create an object, call the class name, okay, and specify the reference name and new and the class name here. This is a constructor again. Okay, for this constructor you can specify some name here, like, okay, some unique id like this. Okay, need to specify L because it is a long integer, right? Finally, just say system dot out dot print run. Okay, or you can say directly printed right here. No, you didn't print it. Fine. Now you can see here obj dot person name. Okay, okay, as a person, okay, with passport number. Okay, in this way obj dot. Now let me run this. You can see here null. It has given the null character here. Now, in order to resolve this, okay, let me say it like name, something went wrong. Okay, so here it went wrong. Okay, the logic is incorrect here. Okay, I made a correction. Just say this as a person name here. Should be there because you are calling name and ID from here. No worries. Come back here, run this again. It is throwing the same error again. Oh, sorry. Okay, this thing you should point. Now you can see John is person with a passport number. Okay, no, that's fine. Sorry, you have learned the association, like, okay. Now let's see about aggregation. Okay, so aggregation in Java, okay, it is a special kind of association. Okay, okay, it has a relationship. Till now, association you've seen is a relationship, is a relationship. Now your aggregation is a has a relationship. Okay, aggregation is a has a relationship. Now his has a relationship is like, okay, um it's like a independent thing. It's like a independent one. Okay, it's like an independent one. For example, okay, for example, okay, if I delete this person class, if I delete the person class, okay, still my passport and agency can work, right? Individually they can work, right? Still my passport and agency can individually work, because my passport and agency is not depending on the person. Okay, if one person goes, other person come for the passport. Okay, so your aggregation is nothing but which doesn't depend on any other objects or a classes. That is nothing but your aggregation. Okay, that is nothing but your aggregation. Then what do you mean by composition? Composition is nothing but dependent. Okay, dependent. Okay, you can see now your passport is provided by the passport agency, and it can be used by the government agency. Suppose now you can see this passport agency, like your government agency is depending upon the passport agency. Your government agency is depending upon the passport agency class. Now if I delete the passport agency class, okay, then definitely my government agency class is not able to run individually, right? It is dependent on that. It is dependent on that. Okay, or you can say for other example for composition means, okay, in a house you have the rooms. Okay, in a house we have the rooms. Okay, so if I destroy entire house, okay, will the rooms will be there? No, right? Completely will be destroyed. Okay, it's like that. Okay, dependency. So in this session we have learned about aggregation, association, types of association, aggregation and composition. Okay,